Welcome back, Legendary Potato here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Minecraft Bedrock Edition, or more specifically the Super Duper Graphics Pack that will be coming to Minecraft Bedrock Edition in the future. I'm going to talk to you guys about exactly what's going on with that, because a lot of us have been expecting to come out at some point, so I'm going to be talking to you guys about that in today's video. Hope you guys will enjoy it. Of course, if you do, make sure you do leave a like on it. It does help out the channel a lot, but anyways, let's get right into the video here, of course. Thing about the Super Duper Graphics Pack is that it's actually been delayed several times. In case you haven't remembered, back in June 11th of 2017, back at E3, they said with the promise that Minecraft Better Together would have the Super Duper Graphics Pack come out sometime in the early fall. So this obviously didn't happen as we're sitting here in February, or of course maybe even later when you're watching this video. Pretty confused as to where that even went, because they ended up delaying it actually a lot more than that, which actually seemed pretty obvious since we're seeing that we see that by now. But what ended up happening was that the fact that they delayed the actual release of the game to start off with towards the end of the summer, close to the beginning of fall. So it's going to be very difficult for them to even do the Super Duper Graphics Pack if they just released the game, which I think is quite fascinating to think about, is that they completely, misunderstood like how they were going to release the game. They were, I guess not misunderstood, but they misjudged how they were going to release everything, and when they thought they were going to release something, it actually took longer than they thought it would. And so I think this is a little bit weird, of course, but as we kind of get further into this, it actually kind of starts to make a little bit more sense. So what exactly I mean by that is that they're going to keep delaying it until they're ready for it, of course, because of the fact that Minecraft Bedrock Edition is still getting fixed all the time. They're trying to make sure that it works perfectly on all versions, and of course specifically Minecraft on the Xbox as well is one of the more buggier versions of this Minecraft Bedrock Edition. So they actually have to go ahead and make sure that's all working, that the game isn't really that buggy and it's all working properly. So they're releasing lots of bug fixes, lots of updates, trying to make the game as best as they can. So they're working very hard on that, and that's where their priorities are at right now. And so I think that's kind of a good move for the game, is that they're actually trying really hard to make sure that the game works first before they go ahead and try to sell the Super Duper Graphics Pack, which that's right, you do have to buy the Super Duper Graphics Pack. It's about $10. So if you do want the shaders and the texture packs, it's going to be about $10 they have to pay. But I mean, honestly, like, I think it might be worth it in some ways, of course, but we do have to wait quite a long time in order to get it, so hopefully this means as well they'll take their time and they'll make it really good for us, make it the best possibly can and make the shaders really nice, which I think is really neat, of course. So we'll see exactly how that turns out, but at least judging by the trailers, I think they were really cool. Of course, they look really nice in the game. Very similar to the way that you can do it on Java Edition, just installing some of the stuff, which honestly that usually seems to be pretty confusing to the average player. Like, I don't know how to do all this sort of stuff, it's all confusing, but if you take the time you can figure it out. But this is all going to be done through the game, so you'll be able to do that. Just purchase it, you'll be able to enable it in some sort of way, which I think is really neat. So of course it makes it easier in that sort of way if you want to play it like that, which I think is cool. So easier if you want to play it, it'll be on Bedrock much easier, but you do have to pay the $10. So it's delayed, that's pretty much what I have to say there, but I think it even confirms itself a lot more because of so many things that we can see about this that really just proves why it's delayed. So when they did the Minecon, or yeah, it was the Minecon Earth, they had this musical for the, it was the Super Duper Graphics musical, which is kind of a little bit strange, but basically what they had in it was they had this girl singing and doing all this sort of stuff, and then at the end it's like coming 2018 or so. It was basically saying, okay, so it's coming 2018, pretty much confirmed that. So we'll see exactly what we see from that, of course, but at least it confirms they're trying to get it out for some time this year, probably in the springtime at least. I've shown before is that it's actually possible, or it actually is seen on things like Amazon, where it's actually being sold, or it's going to be sold starting around, I think it was around May 1st, which I thought was really interesting. So could be a possible release date for the Super Duper Graphics Pack is sometime earlier, middle spring, around May at least is what they're planning, what they have on Amazon and a few other places as well, which I'll link that video in case you do want to check it out, of course. But I do think that's pretty cool, is that they're trying really hard. They're trying to make sure the game works before they go ahead and add these kind of add-on features, I would call them, because it's not a necessity, sorry, It's not a necessity of the game, but it is really cool. It's not necessary to play it at all, but it is something people are really looking forward to. I'd say probably one of the more highly anticipated features to come to Minecraft, because a lot of players, especially on Xbox, who have never really had this opportunity to be able to play with shaders. So we just gotta wait, stay tuned. Of course, we'll see if we get any sort of news regarding this version anytime in the near future, but it's been very vague. They haven't really told us too much other than it's releasing soon, and I think that's just kind of interesting to think about, is that that's really the most that we've gotten with this. So whatever soon means, it could be like, months, it could be weeks. I mean, it's probably not going to be weeks. I'm going to tell you now. It's probably going to be a few months down the line before we start seeing anything with this. But they're working hard on other like survival features, making sure the bugs aren't breaking the game, because it has been a very buggy game, to say the least, especially for the Xbox, like I said before. So very necessary to do that. So we'll see, of course. Since there's also a clip somewhere as well from the Microsoft team saying something about how they don't even have some of the architecture for the Bedrock edition, which I think is quite interesting. So I can try and get that clip for you guys, but basically what they say is, yeah, we don't really have much of the architecture right now at the moment. We're still kind of working on it, but we don't really know what we're doing with it yet, which honestly I think that's really, really strange, is the way they kind of worded that. I thought it was really weird, because of the way, like, they don't even know what they're going to be doing with their own game, or at this point, like, they're not even sure. And when they had originally thought they were going to release it in fall, and then, we're sitting here maybe close to 6 months later, and still they have no architecture for it. And yeah, it was kind of like promised there originally. It's kind of a little bit weird, and I don't know. I don't know what went wrong there in the community there, but however they thought they were going to get that done quickly, it didn't really make too much sense to me. But of course, we'll have to see if they start working on it, if they start releasing screenshots. Hopefully they do, if they have like cool screenshots and stuff. I mean, they do have a video, but honestly, I don't know if that like is actual gameplay or what's going on with that, of course. But hopefully we'll see like some sort of like in-game stuff, and maybe even snapshots including this, or whatever they'll have to do to make it get started with the progress of that. Because at least like, it doesn't seem like there's much progress being done, but at the same time we also don't see much of that progress, so we don't know what's going on behind the scenes of this. So this could mean like they could be working really hard on it. They could just have completely scrapped it, pushed to the side for a little bit while, so that they could work on the game, make sure the game's all working. Then they'll come back to this, or if they even have separate teams for this, which I feel like is a likely possibility as well, is that they could have separate teams working on this entirely, which would be a good thing, of course. Because the more people they have working on the game, and if they have them separately, then people specialize in those things. They can work on those things at the same time, do them faster, get more things out to us. So of course that's what I'm kind of hoping for here. I'm hoping that that's the case. They're working hard on it, but they're also working hard on the game. At least it seems like they're trying to make sure that it's all working like that, making sure it's perfect. But they've been releasing lots of updates and snapshots on the game, so they're working very hard on fixing it, which is very clear. So it's obvious that those are the priorities right now, but we'll see how those change in a little bit, of course, and they'll probably sell it on the Microsoft Store and do all that sort of stuff, and we'll see exactly what happens. But basically, the basic rundown of this is that it's not coming anytime soon. We don't really have much information regarding this, and honestly, it's not really something we should be looking forward to at the moment, because we don't know anything about it, and it's just something that we have to deal with. We just have to accept the fact is that we have no information regarding a release date other than probably sometime in spring of 2018. So I know that's kind of sad news. It's a little bit unfortunate, but sometimes people are confused and ask me like, hey, what's going on with the Super Duper graphics pack? And honestly, it's just the fact that we don't really know. We don't think we ever will know. For a little while at least. Maybe we'll see information really soon. If we do, I'll make sure I'll let you guys know, of course. But hope you guys did enjoy the video, of course. If you did, make sure you do leave a like on it. It does help out the channel a lot. If you guys do appreciate it, make sure you do leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on notifications if you want to get notified every single time I upload. It does help out. And yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, guys, and peace out.